What's up with the people? Can you hear me? I've got a guest coming up here in a minute. Should. Anyway, this is thank you, way the people. This is in reference to some new information to me. That the state of Arkansas says that you cannot unless you're a resident of the state, you cannot FOIA request public information. And that is not okay with me. And I am trying to, I've got a guest coming up. Should. I hope so. I'm going to send out a link. But concerning this. And hang on a minute.
Hi, guys.
Sorry about that. Had somebody come in just a second. Anyway, this is, hello, little Donnie. This is in regards to Oklahoma or Arkansas's Freedom of Information Act. I'm going to flip my camera around and share this email. Oh, wrong way, Jay. Now, how do I do that? Oh, well, I guess I'll do it this way. Is that legible, Hillbilly?
It's kind of fuzzy.
Well, I will read it out.
Sounds good.
This is in response to a FOIA request that somebody sent. It says, before we can begin working on your request, I need to verify that you are a citizen of the state of Arkansas. The reason why is that only citizens of the state of Arkansas are entitled to receive public records under Arkansas Freedom of Information Act, Arkansas Code ANN, State Statute 25-19-105, subtext A, 1, and then capital A. In the event that you meet the resident requirement, I'm going to need to clarify on what you mean by any and all other information, communication regarding my interaction with law enforcement today. Otherwise, this request is not specific to enable me to locate the records. So under Arkansas Freedom of Information Act, State Statute 25-19-105, subsection lowercase a, subsection 1, and capital A, it says that only citizens of the state of Arkansas are eligible to receive freedom of information. That means if I get stopped and I'm not a citizen, I can't get anything.
Exactly.
So
if you just happen to be cruising through the state and you're from any other state and you have an interaction with the police officer or any law enforcement for that matter, or any public servant, if you're not a resident of this state and you want to get some sort of record of that interaction, you're screwed unless you know somebody here who is a resident.
Have a lawyer.
Or have
I did read somewhere in there that a lawyer, but either way, if Arkansas is refusing public information to people that are not citizens, then in my opinion and my understanding, then Arkansas cannot have any law enforcement interactions with anybody that's not a citizen.
It should be that way.
So let's see, layout, said, let me see if that does anything. Nope. Apparently in StreamYard, when you start your camera one way, you're stuck that way. But
No,
anyway,
no, you're not. You can go into your cam and change which, if it's rear or forward facing, cam 1 or cam 2.
it's not letting me do that.
Go to cam mic settings. There's a little settings wheel that says cam mic.
I do not see it.
Oh.
I see cam and mic, more, settings, camera. There we go.
There you go. You turned it around.
Finally turned something around in my life. But you know, to me that is some puckered up shit.
Yeah.
And then to hear what Oklahoma passed in their house today is scary as hell too. Trying to make it illegal to record the police.
Yep, that is a big concern.
So,
especially when over here in Arkansas, it's not mandatory for them to have body cams or dash cams. We're lucky if I can get, if there is any dash cam footage that I can get from this next FOIA request that I'm trying to get.
And something else I find weird, Arkansas is also a stop my ID state.
Yes, it is. I discovered that too. And that's really kind of scary because during my traffic stop, I wasn't sure if it was or not. And, you know, that's why it escalated so quickly, because I was unwilling to ID so quickly. I didn't comply right away because I didn't understand why I was being messed with right away. But I guess they do have a right to just identify anybody at any point in time without any suspicion.
Well, the way I read it, no, they have to have some suspicion, but they can also charge you as a primary charge and not necessarily a secondary, and get away with it. But from what I read in it, they still have to have some suspicion of a crime.
But if you don't comply and ID right away, they can charge you with obstruction.
As long as they have reasonable suspicion. I may be misreading it, but
there was someone else. I believe it was Arkansas Cop Watch, Muhammad. I believe he was saying that they did have to have reasonable the RAS.
Yes.
Just like the time that they pulled me out of the water when I was wearing a flashy bathing suit.
Right.
And people were misconstruing my my laughter and my having a good time as I guess doing things that were inappropriate. So they got a call that someone was down there having sex in the water wearing lingerie. So they made me get out of the water and they wanted me to identify myself right away. And I was like, I haven't done anything wrong. And they're like, I don't care. You're going to ID, you're going to go to jail. We can ID you down there.
The last interaction I had was at a place of business I frequent. And it was closed anyway. I was supposed to be there and this and that and another. Somebody forgot to lock a door, alarm went off, cop showed up, and they tried for 15, 20 minutes to make me ID. And I didn't. And like I said, I didn't realize till a week or so ago that Arkansas is technically a stop my ID state. And yes, they can, but I've learned in the last several days, Arkansas is real shady on how they word shit. They leave it open to interpretation. They make it extremely hard to find.
They're known for their vagueness.
Yes. And make it extremely hard to even find their constitution, what they claim are laws on the books today. And then they've got it all copyrighted to where if they decide that you used it in an inappropriate way, they want to sue you.
Yeah.
But I believe this is all a product of design, slow degradation of our rights, our freedoms. I don't think COVID is anything new. I think they just rebranded the flu to see how many sheep we have. And I believe this is all a product of design to turn us into Nazi Germany. I mean, Oklahoma's trying to make it illegal to record all your public officials when the First Amendment says you can't do that shit. And they're like, yeah, we'll do what the fuck we want. So, but I think it's time we get some of this shit changed. Not now, maybe later. Was live a little earlier talking about the House bills that they passed regarding filming cops in Oklahoma, doing a rally there. But I think we need to do a rally in Little Rock too, get some of this shit changed.
Yeah. Something should happen in Arkansas too. We're usually the last state to catch on to things, and you know, the corruption is worldwide. It's definitely nationwide. It's not just, you know, it's not just in Denver, it's not just in Dallas, it's not just in Rockwall. I mean, it's everywhere. And it starts with these small towns, and it spreads to the bigger cities.
Well, that's something I've always believed. Everybody talk, well, what about Mayberry? Well, I'm sorry, Andy was corrupt too. So was Barney.
Yeah.
Yeah. If not, how come the town drunk had a key to the cell? Andy Mayberry and the Andy Griffith Show popularized and made it okay for the good old boy scheme. To where as long as I know you and we're buddies and shit like that, you know, I can manipulate shit. What's up, my brother Defend? How are you?
Hi, Defend.
Let's see. If anybody wants to come up, see if I can share this. I believe that is a StreamYard link. If anybody wants to come up and chew the fat and have a discussion here. But yeah, and I'm with Not Now. You know, he said, you know, it's going to take more than 10 or 12 people if this bill does pass into law in Oklahoma.
Right.
You know, it's like 1,000.
Yeah, it takes more than a handful of people. I mean, you guys, the protest that only had like 30 people in Rockwall, what did that do? It did nothing, especially when people took it in the ass for the charges we got for the protest and fucking took plea deals and paid fines and just said, fuck it. The protest was nothing. We have to have people that are willing to stand up and follow through.
To me, you're the only one that had that I know anything about that had balls in the end of that and said, you know what, fuck y'all. I may not ever go back to Texas, but you can kiss my fucking hillbilly ass.
And I don't know. I'm just biding my time until I have the means to go and fight. I eventually will. I just right now I'm being focused on other things.
Well, Defend, I appreciate you, brother, and much love as always, my man. And yeah, and I'm going to use old PayPal patty cake. If there was one in the bunch that had enough revenue to fight that, to beat it, and everything else, it was him. And that's the reason I don't like him. To me, he's a punk. He fucking a punk and a scam. And he took over, and he bent over, took it in the ass, and said, "Okay, I'll pay the little fine. Just don't hurt me or throw me back in jail." You know, when you're out fighting for shit that you believe in, it's going to cost you sometimes, and sometimes it's going to cost you dearly. And if you're not willing to sacrifice or to pay the debt, what's up, Autotron? Then maybe you ought to sit at home and watch videos. You know, but I believe we're on the verge of one or two things, and not just in this country, worldwide. Either we're going to bow down to the masters and we're all going to be slaves to the elite and nothing but cattle, or we're going to stand up and fucking fight, just like they did when this country was born. And plain and simple. What's up, Kansas Redneck?
Hello.
Just happened to catch you on your broadcast.
How's it going?
I'm glad you joined.
Welcome.
What are your thoughts? Can
About
you hear
what-
us, Kansas Redneck?
Do what?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No. What are your thoughts on the Arkansas Freedom of Information and the law there in Oklahoma they're trying to get to?
I think they're both bullshit.
My agreement too. So, but like I said, I really believe we're on the verge of either becoming all slaves or doing what they done in 1776 and shedding some blood to refresh the tree of liberty.
Well, I ain't becoming a slave to nobody, so.
Well, I offer the idea to some degree we all are.
Walmart employees are becoming slaves.
I don't even go to Walmart anymore.
I call it Nelmart. What's up, Autotron?
Hi, Auditron.
Hey, you guys.
So,
What's up? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So, who was that dude that just said something? I think Kansas Redneck. You just said you don't care about any FOIA? Go back and listen to the tape, you guys. Rewind it. You said you don't care about both. Fuck FOIA. That's what you think.
No, I don't
Right,
think I
Kansas?
said that.
Actually, I think you did.
No.
Yeah, you did, actually. Go back and listen to the recording. You were like, obviously, Cowboy was asking, what do you think about FOIA? And you're like, fuck both. So that include, so I mean, come on.
no, Autotron,
Don't
I think you, Autotron, I think you
What?
misunderstood him. I asked him what he thought about the way they were set up, and he said, "Fuck both of them." He wouldn't
He
just
said
blow on
he
a
thought both of them were bullshit.
That's
Yeah.
what I said.
So FOIA's
Yeah.
bullshit?
No, the way
No,
Arkansas
but the
has
way
it
that
set
they're
up.
doing it.
Okay. Oh,
Autotron,
all right.
by the Arkansas law, unless you're a resident of the state of Arkansas, you're not
can't get a
entitled
FOIA
to any
request.
FOIA.
You can't do a FOIA unless you what?
Okay,
Or
for
a-
example, let me explain it. For example, the other day, my son was stopped and got a speeding ticket. Because he is not an Arkansas state resident, he cannot do a FOIA request in this state for his stop. I have to do it for him because he's a Missouri resident. If he didn't know
Wait.
anybody here, he wouldn't be able to get that FOIA request done unless he had a lawyer.
Okay. Well, let me. Can I comment?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Well, first of all, the FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, is obviously FOIA is an acronym for Freedom of Information Act.
Right.
So if I was in Arkansas and I wanted to do a request for public information, I wouldn't process a FOIA because Arkansas is one of the several states. It's separate and distinct from the federal jurisdiction. So FOIA is something that it doesn't directly apply in Arkansas. Arkansas most likely has its own Public Records Act, and therefore, there are certain processes at the Arkansas state level that people should follow if they want to have their public records request adhered to. If you do a request and you're in Arkansas, I mean, I don't recommend doing a FOIA because that's federal. Arkansas is one of the states. So
Well, it is called the Freedom of Information Act of Arkansas. That's the way it's titled, and it
Okay.
pertains
But
to.
whenever I went to go get my video, my dash cam footage for my traffic stop, it was a FOIA request that I did through the Arkansas State Police. So I'm not exactly. I'm kind
Okay,
of confused
so
what you're trying to say.
well, okay, so you're educating me, and I'm down to be educated. I'm not against it. I think so. You're saying that in Arkansas, when you want public records, it's called a FOIA on every level.
Yes,
Okay.
you
All right.
cannot get any public records in the state of Arkansas unless you are a resident of this state.
I don't know about that, but I will
No,
definitely
that there's actually a statute on that. Whenever I requested, when I did a FOIA request from the dash cam footage from my traffic stop, they told me they sent the statute, and if you go back to the beginning of this video that Cowboy
yeah.
started, he actually read off the statute and everything because I sent him the email, the reply that I got back from them. I had to prove my
Okay.
Arkansas state residency for them to send me a copy of the dash cam footage for my own traffic stop.
Okay, thank you. No, I'm gonna look into that because I think that's
Look, he's showing
um
it.
I'm
it's
showing it right.
tyrannical. That's crazy, and you guys are being treated like straight slaves for real. Because every you know what I mean? Like if you really think about it, like why should you have to prove that you are a citizen of the state of Arkansas just to get body cam footage from state of Arkansas PD. You know what I mean? Whatever you want it.
Right.
If it's a state
And
police thing, if it's a local PD thing, you know, I understand that the states might have their policies, but you guys have to also understand too that like there is a federal law. You know what I mean? Like, and the federal FOIA is a Freedom of Information Act on a federal level. I think it's found at Title Five, if I'm not mistaken, Title Five, United States Code, Section 552. So that's a U.S. thing. That's a U.S. code law thing. And even if your state has its own laws, there is a really, really good chance that state's laws are overbroad if it's saying, we only you have to be a resident of this state in order to get it. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there's just definitely something there. As far as like making a statement, making a claim, and Arkansas might be overreaching. But go ahead.
Here's the way the email read, Autotron. It says,
All
before
right.
we can begin working on your request, I need to
Yep.
verify that you are a citizen of the state of Arkansas. The reason why is that only citizens of the state of Arkansas are entitled to receive public records under the Arkansas Freedom of Information Act. See
mhm.
Arkansas Code, State Statute 25-19-105,
Okay.
subsection A, subsection 1, and
Right.
you
Well,
know,
that sounds like an unconstitutional statute.
yes, yeah,
Doesn't
and that,
it? That's why we're bringing this up.
and then in light of Oklahoma
Oh, I
passing,
didn't. I didn't know that. So thank you.
we didn't either till last week, Autotron.
Well, no, we knew this whenever I got stopped. That when I got
Well,
that email, that's when we discovered that, but it didn't quite sink in until we were talking about it.
no,
Good job,
and
cowboy.
then the new bill that they passed through in Oklahoma talking about it illegal to film officers and show anything identifying where they work, their name, or anything like that.
They're using the back door to take away the small freedoms first.
Welcome,
It sounds like
A911,
it's some
Alexa.
bullshit on some due. They're trying to use due process and they're abusing it. It's like, let me use
Well,
I'm saying I'm doing due process, but at the same time I'm going to abuse it. That's
my
exactly
deal
what they.
is, the First Amendment guarantees us the right to film these motherfuckers and tell you exactly who they are. They're passing these bills and these laws in support of law enforcement in the Floyd case and shit like that. So to me, Oklahoma is saying we want to be fucking Nazi Germany and fucking all of our citizens slaves instead of citizens.
Oh,
So
Can't
But
deny.
yeah, I mean, we're coming to a point where even if we disagree with people on some level, we're going to have to stand together because it's coming to us or them. And I firmly believe either way it goes, there will be bloodshed. It's just a matter of if we're
I think
repressing the
bloodshed
truth
is coming.
Germany.
I agree. Hmm.
Yeah.
Bloodshed is coming. It's unfortunate. Yep.
Yeah, actually seeing some videos of some constitutional training today.
And
People are gearing up and training, getting ready for things instead of just talking about it.
well, I've
Yeah,
been
I gotta
trying.
go. I'm gonna tune in, but thank you, Constitutional Cowboy.
Otto Tron, always a pleasure to have you, brother. Thank you.
All right, thanks for the news, and
Yes,
thank
sir.
you to the lady also for sharing. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome.
Bye.
You still
Where's
with
your
us,
phone?
Kansas Redneck?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just listening, taking it all in.
So I just think it's crazy. I think it's crazy that this country's come to this. So,
I didn't think there's that many stupid people in this country, but obviously I was wrong there.
well, I said that when everybody started putting on masks for the goddamn flu. So,
Look at me, I didn't.
well, if you chose to and you felt safer, that's up to you. I just, I didn't buy it from the get go. And I
Did
don't
it to
buy it
get
today.
paid.
What's that?
I only did it for a paycheck.
Well, I mean,
I didn't do it
see,
for
I'm
that.
not knocking. I'm not knocking anybody that done it. I'm knocking the ones that tell me I have to do it.
Right.
And
Hey, you know, I had to go do another COVID test the other day. Like the one I did Thursday wasn't within the 72-hour window of my surgery, so I had to do another one right before my surgery.
That's bullshit.
I told y'all I was doing it for nothing.
see, to me, that's forced medical treatment against your will.
That's how I feel. Because I didn't feel sick at all. There was no reason to take a fucking test.
But I also believe that we're coming to a point in time, unless you got your paperwork proving that you've been vaccinated, you're not going to be able to go to the store. You're not going to be able to.
There's certain freedoms that they're going to take away from, like. I mean, it starts with my employment. If you're fully vaccinated, you have the freedom to work without a mask. If you're not fully vaccinated, you still got to wear a mask. So that's one. That's only one, but that's where it starts.
Well, see, here's part of one of your freedoms gone. Having to prove your medical care to your employer because it's against the law for them to ask.
Yeah, there are some people that I have noticed actually standing up that aren't fully vaccinated that are working maskless, challenging that. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
I'm not vaccinated and I ain't wearing no damn mask either.
Because they know their rights and they know that their boss can't come up to them and ask them, hey, did you get fully vaccinated?
Yeah, the only time I even considered wearing a mask was here about a week and a half ago. I come down with the sore throat, felt bad and shit like that. And which, I don't go out in public much anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I considered wearing one then. I didn't because I wouldn't, didn't have a fever or any of the other symptoms, and but when everybody else is wearing a mask, why does it matter if I am or not?
I agree. I made up my own mask. I took one of them little blue ones, cut the center of it out, and took a hot glue gun and hot glued window screen in it.
I'll be right back. I'll go get my mask.
All right.
Well, at least people had fun with some of the mask.
I did. Then I go F you and a little bitty N on it, so it spelled fun.
I really wanted to get one of the face huggers from the Aliens.
Uh-huh.
I really wanted to get one of those to wear around. That one would have been, yeah. See, that's great. I like that.
I've got another one too.
Hell, I think it's an improvement.
Yeah, it might be more protective. It might be more protective. It definitely keep people 6 feet away.
Well, I actually wore that into Walmart, had it on the back of my head with a GoPro on the front. And not one person asked me where my mask was at that day.
I've had them ask me. I just tell them to go fuck themselves and keep on walking. They leave me alone.
Yeah, there's no mandate here for it. The only reason people are still wearing them is because if they work for a major corporation or something and they're forced to for their job.
Yeah, our boss came out and told us that we was all going to have to wear masks. He's mandating this, that, and the other. And we all looked down and said, yeah, you can go fuck yourself. He says, okay, I'm out of here. Never had no more problem after that.
Can y'all hear me?
What's up, Autotron? What's up, one hot gal?
Hey, look, guys. Yesterday was the 25th of May. Yesterday, the governor came out and removed the mandatory mask requirement, which is, a lot of people would be like, well, that's cool. Right? That's so cool that the governor removed the mask mandate. That's so cool. It's all bullshit from the beginning to begin with, so like I'm not gonna be like being like, oh yay, finally we don't have to follow that order. Motherfucker, please. I never had to follow it.
Just me, or is the sound choppy?
Yeah, you're chopping up, Autotron. I don't know if you got a weak signal or your mic's kicking in and out.
Is the sound choppy now?
Not as bad.
Is it choppy?
A little bit.
It's still like that. It's doing that.
Yep.
Okay. Man, see, I think when the cops took this phone, they did something to it. I was arrested recently. They took my phone and they did something to this phone. But
of course they did.
It's probably bugged.
all right, I'm gonna
go. Bye.
But even when there was a mask mandate here in Arkansas and in Oklahoma, I never wore one. I went and done what I was going to do, and I was like you, Candace Redneck, fuck you, and kept walking.
Yep. Just ain't doing it.
No.
So, you know me, I've always had a bit of a problem for authority anyway.
It's not authority I have a problem with.
I've never questioned authority, never.
Yeah, my book, yes.
Tyrannical authority, on the other hand.
Well, isn't all authority tyrannical?
So, there has to be a certain amount of order to life for people to have comfort.
I behave myself. I just don't like being messed with.
Exactly. No one does. So there has to be some rules put in place because, unfortunately, there are assholes out there that make life difficult, and that is why there is more rules. When people go out and do stupid shit, they make more rules for stupid ass people.
Yep, that I agree.
Well, then, as far as I'm concerned, if they make rules because and for stupid ass people, then only stupid ass people have to follow them rules.
Well, we don't have a stupid people detector, so it doesn't work that way.
It would be on overload constantly if we did.
Well, if Darwin was correct,
but what I'm saying is the reason why they're pushing right now for this not filming the cops thing is because it's causing a bunch of fucking problems, apparently.
Well, I think the problem that it's really causing is that there's bootlickers or former bootlickers that see this shit and go, well, at first I thought it was just this guy. Well, this guy was an asshole. Well, this guy didn't do anything. They are goddamn Nazis. And I believe that it is some of us getting out here and doing what we do, I think is deprogramming some people, and they have issue with it.
No, it's just that the wrong people that get out, the people that get out there with the wrong intentions is what's screwing it up for the people that really want to hold police accountable.
I can see that being part of it too, but I think the more cameras, no matter what the person's intention, when they show the way these officers act and what they do, and the fact that they think they are God and that they are the fucking law, and they don't give a fuck about what the law or anything else says, just their feelings and what they think. I really think that has helped open some people's eyes.
Well, why isn't there like some sort of, there needs to be some sort of mediator or something, like, okay, so some people are all for filming the police, right? And then some people are like, okay, well, it's causing issues because of the YouTube drama and bullying and all that, right? The bullying, that's what they're trying to cut out. I think that's what they're trying to cut out. Because someone makes a mistake and it ruins their entire fucking career and their life and everything because of YouTube.
Well, you know what? When they're a public official and their mistake costs somebody their lives or civil their liberties or violates
even if it doesn't, I'm sorry, but some of these cop watchers will go out and they will fucking they're filming the postman, and they're getting his first name, and then they're showing their personal car and their license plate, and
well,
you know, some people take it too fucking far, and that is why these stupid ass rules get put in place.
Well, see, to me, when it comes to a public official holding them accountable, there's nothing that's too far. If they're fucking up,
sometimes they're not fucking up, and there's nothing to be holding accountable. The cop watchers are just fucking bored.
Well, no, I'm not saying I agree with the way everybody does things, darling. You know,
and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It is the few that are fucking up, that are doing stupid ass shit, that are ruining it for the people out there actually trying to hold the police accountable. Well, that's why the stupid ass laws are trying to be put into place.
Well, no, the laws are trying to be put into place to control us. Believe me, YouTube and some of that shit, that don't affect them people. If it did, there would be laws in place taking guns away from cops. There would be no qualified immunity for anybody in government. If you fucked up, you're out.
Well, it ought to be.
They're trying to protect themselves, not us.
Yes, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. But if there weren't the few stupidest fucking cop watchers out there doing the dumbest fucking shit right now in Oklahoma and other places, then they wouldn't be pushing so hard to fucking cut it out.
I disagree. If there wasn't stupid goddamn cops murdering motherfuckers and doing what they want instead of following the law, and it's shedding a light on the corruption that goes all the way to the Capitol, then they wouldn't be trying.
Why haven't they tried to stop filming the police anywhere else where it's been super corrupt, Cowboy?
Just because there's the first ones don't mean that it's a couple of YouTube channels that affect the whole state, darling.
That's not what I'm saying either. I'm saying maybe they fucking are catching on to some of the shit that these stupid young ass cop watchers are doing, the uneducated ones, the ones that ain't out there for police accountability. They're only out there to get fucking clicks and views and YouTube donations. And I think you know which ones I'm talking about. They make a bad name for the people that are older, who know what the fuck they're doing, that are actually out there with the cause.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but to say that I'm going to use your logic against you. I agree there's some bad apples doing some dumb shit. All right, if they're going to pass laws that violate U.S. Constitution and the First Amendment and my rights because of a few bad apples, how come they don't pass laws to hold cops more accountable for a few bad apples? Because they don't give a fuck about us. Are you following what I'm saying there? They're trying to say, well, you know, and I agree. There's some of them out there that need their ass whooped for the shit they pull. I'm not okay with it. But when the government goes, well, we're going to take these one or two in a whole state, when we got proof of 20,000 cops in the state being corrupt, but we're going to pass laws to protect them corrupt cops and to chastise everybody else. We're going to lump them all together.
There has to be another solution than a bunch of idiots running around instigating issues with the police that are already trigger happy. That's all I got to say about that.
I'm not disagreeing with that either, darling. And then yes, I'll try not. I agree. Or SoCal, welcome, brother. Glad you joined us. I agree. There's some of them out there that go way too far just for the clicks and views. But see, to me, that comes back to some of us, and I don't like drama, so I don't get into a lot of it. We ought to be, as quote quote, a community, holding them same cop watchers doing that shit accountable, doing everything we can to get their shit banned, taken down, demonetized, whatever. You know, one of the biggest. Go ahead, Hillbilly.
This shit was supposed to be about educating people, not about entertainment or
yes,
attention.
Yes. And the simple reason for this stream right here, to educate people about Arkansas's Freedom of Information Act, that unless you're a state, a citizen, you're not entitled to it. Even though the
so
state
if you get stopped in our state and you try to do a FOIA request on that incident and you don't know anybody here, you're not going to get that information without a lawyer, period.
Nope. And to me, it leads all back to the money.
Yep.
But, education sometimes can be violent. And I believe that there's a lot of people going to be educated violently against their will. And it's going to be a rude awakening. SoCal, you are so right there. Some people forgot that it was really about holding them accountable and not the money that they generate or the donations they generate. And that's one reason I've always been real skeptical and cautious about accepting any donations. And I'm not saying I hadn't got some, I have. And I'm highly appreciative. I don't feel like I've misused or misappropriated or anything like that. And but it never was about the money for me. It's always been about freedom.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, I a few months ago, I was, making a couple of $100 off of some of my YouTube videos, before I got to work and stuff. And I enjoyed getting the revenue off my videos. But I've never been about trying to get in somebody else's pocket, just because of what I'm doing. Something else that's funny about Fort Smith. In Fort Smith, it's illegal for you to modify, say, your motorcycle, changing the license plate mounts or putting other lights on it, except for what was put on by the original equipment manufacturer. But they have a statute here in Fort Smith that says on your bicycle, you have to have a headlight and a rear light, which is modifying a vehicle that the state has no titleship to. It's the original equipment manufacturer's shit.
Wow. That's funny.
So they'll ticket you for modifying your lights on one vehicle and ticket you for not adding lights or modifying another vehicle. No.
And they will stop you for either a dim or faulty license plate lights here in Arkansas now. They didn't used to, but they do now. They caught on to Texas's little trick. And
Well, see, when they ask me about a dim light, I'm going to go, okay, where's your candle?
There's something that someone mentioned to me the other day. I'm going to have to look into. But this person's, I guess, ex significant other, or whatever, used to be a cop here or something. I don't know. I don't know all the details of it, but they were mentioning something about speeding tickets. We were on the subject of speeding tickets. Apparently, an officer's speed scanner has to be calibrated daily, and they have, and they get a calibration card with that calibration.
Yes.
If you request that, if they give you a speeding ticket and you say, I need your calibration information, they have to give it to you. And if they don't have that information, or if it's not current, they have to throw out that speeding ticket.
Yes. You can also ask for the officer's certification to operate that gun, because they have to be recertified every 6 months or a year or whatever it is to operate a radar gun.
Yes.
But yeah, and you can also, in the state of Arkansas, request to see where they've got you locked on radar. And if they deny it, that's another way to throw it out.
Well, I need to do all of the above, I guess, for my son's thing, because the officer is lying, which is a very high possibility over in this little corrupt town over here. And the population is like 300, so yeah, it's a really, really bad little town, and it's kind of like a speed trappy town, but
I'm surprised they even have an officer.
yeah, there's 2 cars, I think. And I sent the FOIA request to the Arkansas State Police, and they sent it back, and they were like, sorry, it's not through us. That was through the city police in Alpena. And I was like, oh, great. So I have to go there in person, and I don't even think they have dash cams on those squad cars. So
Probably
I don't
not.
think I'm going to get any information at all. I don't know. I'm going to try, but I don't think I can get anything from that little town. He has no way to really, he's got no way really to prove his innocence.
I said, does Arkansas have deferments?
What's that?
Like Kansas here, we get a speeding ticket, we just go down, tell them we want a deferment. Basically, they make the ticket go off your record, you just pay the fine.
Huh. I've never heard of that.
Well, a lot of these small little towns, they don't call it a deferment. They just basically say, well, if you'll go ahead and pay the ticket, we won't turn it into the state Department of Motor Vehicles and shit like that. It's
Right.
all about getting you to pay the money and not resist.
That's all any of it's about. But doing that saves your insurance. Keeps you from having to pay more money.
Yeah.
But, you know, technically, by them doing that, they're breaking their own laws.
They're manipulating people.
No, the way it's set up and all these driving laws and shit like that, a municipality or an incorporated city that does not turn that shit into the Department of Motor Vehicles for that state is violating the state and their own laws. They are supposed to report everything.
My head hurts now.
Yeah, but nobody reports everything to the government.
Not even the government.
I know it.
Well, to me, that just proves that they're more worried about getting their money.
Yes, that's all it boils down to. It's all about the money.
I really wish that there was someone that could go with me to do this FOIA request. and audit this place. This is like one of the worst little fucking towns ever. That it's just one of those little, if you blink you miss it. It slows down from a 55 mile an hour around this corner. You got to slow down to 30 miles an hour real quick, and after like not even a half a mile, it speeds back up to 60. So it's definitely like a little speed trap town, and I've been pulled over throughout my lifetime a few times going through there. Anything that looks new to them, I mean anything that they haven't seen before, or that passed by, just like an hour or two ago, they'll stop it. And I just wish I had the time to go over there and just watch the way these people the way they operate over there.
This road, does it have houses on both sides of the street?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It's the only highway going through this little town.
See, we got a couple towns that one town has houses on both sides of the street, so you have to slow down for. In that town, you gotta go. I think it's 40 miles an hour. The next little town you go through, you don't have to slow down for it. You can just keep it hammered. Yeah, but the difference between the two is one has houses on both sides of the road, the other one doesn't.
Yeah.
Something about highway code or something. If it don't have houses on both sides of the road, you don't actually have to slow down for it.
But they don't give you a whole lot of warning that this thing is coming, though.
No, they make more money that way.
And they sit on the edge of either side, waiting for people to fuck up.
Yeah. Well, like I said, they make money that way. It's probably how they're paying their salary. Like I said, 300 people. I'm surprised they got.
But if they don't have dash cams, how many people, how many non-residents? Because that's kind of a major travel highway there for. Okay, so going across the north part of the state of Arkansas is a major highway called 62 highway, and that highway goes straight through Alpena on the way to Harrison. Harrison has a major highway of 65 that goes up to Branson, Missouri, or down to Little Rock. It's another major. So Harrison's kind of a crossroads. Alpena is a neighboring town just outside of Harrison.
Okay.
So everyone has to go through Alpena to get to all these other little places on 62 from Harrison. There's no other way around. You have to go through 62.
Right.
So it's like a little trap town.
Yep.
And I once had a problem there because there was a person on the side of the road that had a flat tire. So I only had a 2-seater truck. I told them to hop in the back with their flat tire. I would take them to the next town, not Alpena, because it was too small, but the next town up that had a tire shop. Well, I got pulled over in Alpena because someone was in the back of my pickup. At the time, it wasn't against the law to have someone in the back of your pickup in the state of Arkansas that was over 18, and this man was clearly in his 40s, 50s. I don't know. He had lots of hair on his face, right?
Right.
And I know that the officer could see that he wasn't a child, but that was his excuse for pulling me over, because I had someone in the back of my vehicle. And I called the state police and asked them if it was against the law, and they said no. So
well, we all know that they will use any excuse to try to initiate a stop to generate further charges.
Yep.
Right. But this little town, anytime anyone I know says I've got to go through Alpena, they roll their eyes or they get that tone because they know that there's some corruption there that they're going to have to go through. And I'm fixing to have to, and I just think about it. I'm just one person. How many people go through there I'm a resident, so I can get a FOIA request. How lucky am I? But how many people go through there that are from Missouri, which is not very far from Highway 62, or Oklahoma, people go Highway 62 all the time to go through Siloam to get to Oklahoma. Or they go on 62 East to get to Tennessee. There's a lot of people from neighboring states that use this highway that might be going through that stupid ass little town. And I'm just thinking, how many of those people can't get their FOIA requests? And they possibly can't get dash cam footage. I can't wait to find out if they have it.
Well, I'm going to offer this suggestion too on that speeding ticket. A cop saying that I was speeding is not proof I was speeding. I don't have to prove my innocence. He has to prove my guilt.
This is true.
Sure.
Kansas redneck, what part of Kansas you from there, brother?
You should know. You know who this is, don't you?
I believe the voice sounds familiar. So I believe it's an old brother of mine that's uglier than me.
Yeah, it's the one.
I thought it was you, but I wasn't real sure, brother. So how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Hanging in there.
Right? So yeah, Arkansas hillbilly, this is a brother I've known what?
Forever.
Fucking 30 plus years.
Yeah.
We don't agree on everything, but we agree when they come for us. There will be bloodshed.
Yes, sir.
That's a good thing to agree on.
You still running the same phone number?
Actually, no. I'll send it to you on Facebook.
That'll work. All right.
So, but one of the last phones I had, the cop stole. So,
Oh.
go watch my Unsolved Mystery in Worcester, Oklahoma. You'll get the gist of it. So,
I got a couple new play toys set up you'd like.
well, brother, I always do. Is Mama there with you?
Oh, she's upstairs.
Well, when you see her, tell her our favorite brother-in-law still loves her.
Will do. I'll tell the kids they're crazy Uncle Mike said hi.
Boy, it's hard to believe how big they got that quick.
Oh, that ain't no shit. The youngest will be a senior next year.
I know, man. That's
Got right
crazy.
at the end of the tunnel.
No, you don't. You got grandkids coming sooner or later.
Oh, fuck, I've already got 4 of them.
No.
My daughter just got married.
Huh?
Then my daughter just got married.
Oh, I didn't know she got married.
I almost didn't either.
So, well, no, you are an asshole, so I wouldn't have told you either.
This is a pretty a country panel we got going on here. Cowboy, Arkansas hillbilly, and a Kansas redneck. And he just said married.
Well, Arkansas hillbilly, you know, here in Arkansas, when you get divorced, you're still brothers and sisters.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've been told that.
Yep. Yeah, they informed me that a long time ago.
Incest is best. Can't keep it in the pants. Keep it in the family.
Right?
Hey, why go across the street when you can go across the hall, yo?
Y'all are some sick motherfuckers. I knew I liked hanging out with y'all.
Hey, did you know that the toothbrush was invented in Arkansas?
No.
Yes, because if it was invented anywhere else, I'd have called it the teeth brush.
Exactly. Hey, did you know that Arkansas is in the Bible?
No, I didn't.
Well,
Educate-
because go ahead.
Educate me.
Because Noah looked out his Arkansas.
See, they don't even have the word Arkansas in Kansas. It's all called Arkansas.
Yeah, there's people that still call it that.
I remember when I first moved to Kansas, they started talking about the Arkansas River, and it's like, man, there's a new river I didn't know about. Where's this at? Looking on the map, it's like, oh, that's a fucking Arkansas. No, that's the Arkansas. No, that is the Arkansas. I'm telling you.
Tomato, tomato.
Jayhawker fucking stubborn ass. But
So if this place doesn't have dash cams, then what?
Then I say that they have no proof that he was speeding.
Okay. So how would we fight that?
Just simply walk in there and go, where's your proof? No, his word saying that I was speeding is hearsay. It's his word against mine. I say I was not. The burden of proof is not upon me. It is upon you. And unless he has actual proof of me speeding, then there is no proof.
Okay.
I'm not saying it'll fly very well, but it has
Well, I
worked for
wasn't
me.
there. I wasn't there. I really don't know what happened. This is why I want the information. So, like, I don't want to call anyone a liar, either party. That's why I want the information. But if that information is not available, then how could I or even a judge prosecute anyone?
Well, see, here's the way that works. One cop's word saying that you were speeding or something else, because he's technically an officer of the court, his word will count for 10 citizens going, no, that's not what happened.
Wow.
That's the way the courts work. Well, a cop said you was doing it. Well, does he have any proof that I was doing it? Him saying I was doing it is technically hearsay. Well, no, he's an officer of the court. Well, it don't matter unless that officer of the court can prove. The burden of proof is on you, not on me. I am innocent until you prove me guilty. Not that lying, corrupt cocksucker saying I'm guilty.
This is true, but it don't usually work like that.
Yeah. Especially in a little teeny tiny town.
Yeah, because like I said, that's how they get their revenue to afford to have them cops.
So,
if I go in there talking like that, they're gonna arrest me.
Probably.
Well, like I said, if I can get that set of wheels up under me, I'll go in there talking like that. So, because we all know I'm scared of them. So, but anyway, well, it's about time for me to lay my old ass down. And,
all right. Well, thank you for talking about this with us. It's been on my mind a lot lately.
Well, we'll try to get together and do some more of this, and like I said, see if we can't figure out how to get some of this shit changed, because it's not okay. So.
You're right, it's not. My son should be able to get his own information.
Yep. Without a fucking lawyer.
Yep.
So.
Don't forget to send me your phone number.
I won't, brother. I'll be sending it to you here in just a second.
All right, man.
All right, much love, and we will catch everybody on the flip.
All right, y'all have a good one.